Hi, my name is Amber Waldy, and I'm a teacher at King George High School in King George County, Virginia. The title of my project is From Surviving to Thriving, Supporting New Teachers Through a Book Study of the First Year's Matter, Becoming an Effective Teacher by Carol Pelletier. My project involved a group of 15 new teachers and myself. The purpose of my project was to support and encourage new teachers. As said by Ted Lasso in Season 1, Episode 1 of the TV show Ted Lasso, taking on a challenge is a lot like riding a horse, isn't it? If you're comfortable while you're doing it, you're probably doing it wrong. Teaching is comparable to that, equal parts thrilling, terrifying, and proof that growth never comes from staying comfortable. We all know how hard it is to be a teacher. Sometimes it's very overwhelming your first year. We've had a high turnover rate the last couple of years, and I believe part of that is because some of our new teachers did not feel supported. My hope is that through this project, I helped to encourage, motivate, and support the new teachers, and that through this, I can help with teacher retention. I also plan to present my project at a leadership meeting in January with the recommendation that the book be used as part of our mentoring program district-wide. I also have a secondary purpose for my project. I was asked to be the mentor liaison at King George High School. The purpose of the mentor liaison is to facilitate communication between the mentors and the new teachers, and to ensure that the new teachers are getting the help that they need. When I was asked to be the mentor liaison, I was given a handbook. In the handbook, there's a detailed description of what a mentor does, along with lots of information for new teachers. However, there's no description of the duties or responsibilities of a mentor liaison. So the secondary purpose of my project was to create a detailed description of the duties and responsibilities of a mentor liaison to be included as part of the mentoring handbook for King George County Schools. My project consisted of 4 phases. Phase 1 was introductions, expectations, and kickoff of the book study. To begin my project, I sent out surveys to all of the new teachers to gauge their level of experience, confidence, and see what they needed. I also sent out a form to the mentors along with their assigned new teachers to help to facilitate relationship building amongst the new teachers and the mentors. In the forms, I asked them to share things like, how many years have you been teaching? What were some of the previous jobs you had? Why did you become a teacher? And what are some of your interests or hobbies? I was hopeful that through the sharing of information, they would see some common interests and begin to develop a relationship where both the new teacher and the mentor could benefit from one another. I also then led a collaboration meeting with both the mentors and the new teachers where we discussed what the new teachers needed and also what was expected from the mentors. We also played a get-to-know-you game where we all learned a little more about each other. A few days later, I had a kickoff meeting for the book study where we previewed the book, discussed teaching philosophies, and began developing them. We also discussed journaling and keeping a weekly journal where we write our thoughts on the book and a reflection on how things are going in our jobs. We discussed expectations versus reality of our jobs as a teacher, and we reviewed teacher and student relationship building strategies. Probably the most important part of the meeting was the snacks and the socializing that occurred. This helped to deepen the bond, not just between myself and the teachers, but between the new teachers amongst each other. I was glad to see them socializing and getting to know one another because I think that friendships with their peers will also help them to feel supported in their careers. The new teachers left the meeting feeling more empowered and comfortable with one another and with the plan of reading the first few chapters of the book. Phase 2 of my project was building community and application. During this phase, I held the first official book study meeting. At the meeting, we discussed what we had read and further worked on the development of teaching philosophies. At the meeting, we also continued our discussion of journaling, and I encouraged them to write weekly journal reflections. I also developed a survey in Google Forms that I sent out weekly to all of the new teachers to ensure that they were getting the support that they needed, and to see if there were any needs that I could provide. I also completed my first round of observations with the new teachers and then provided feedback to them. Phase 3 was mental health matters, encouragement, and philosophies. During this phase, we continued with the book study. I met individually with the new teachers to gauge how they were doing and help them with anything that they needed. I found that during the individual meetings, it was a great time to discuss the book, what they thought of it, and get a reflection from them on how they thought everything was going. I also held book study session 2, where we reviewed what we'd read, completed the final development of our teaching philosophies, and had a group discussion of tips and tricks, and shared motivational moments or inspiring stories of things we either observed or took part of so far this school year. Phase 4 of my project was reflection and culmination. In this phase, we completed the book and then met together to review what we learned, discussed how to find balance while also being resilient. I continued to meet individually with the new teachers and to send out and analyze the needs assessment surveys. After the completion of the book, I also met with our principal, Dr. Burns. We discussed what I learned from the book study, teacher development, and the needs of the new teachers. Beyond the book study, I plan to continue to support the new teachers in my building through the weekly needs assessment surveys, as well as holding monthly collaborative meetings with the new teachers and the mentors. I've developed a description of the duties and responsibilities of the mentor liaison, and I have plans to present that along with my project at our leadership meeting in January. I will also be recommending the district-wide implementation of the book for use with all of the mentors as a guide when mentoring the new teachers. Leading the book study with our new teachers has been one of the most meaningful things I've done so far. Through our discussions and monthly meetings, I work to support them as they navigate the many challenges of their first year, helping them strengthen their desires to teach, shape their emerging teaching philosophies, and feel confident in their growing identities as educators. By meeting individually with each teacher, providing timely observation and feedback, and ensuring their needs were heard and addressed, I was able to build authentic relationships that fostered trust and professional growth. Our monthly meetings help the new teachers to develop relationships not only with me, but with each other. Having those relationships can really help them as they navigate their career. This project reminded me that new teachers thrive when they feel supported, valued, and equipped, and that intentional mentoring truly shapes the culture and future of our school. Thank you.